And good morning. It is 21 minutes after 7 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the Walker Aviation Museum, Robert Sherman back with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing today?
I'm okay.
Good.
Next week, daylight savings when I don't know about you, but when my alarm goes off and it's pitch dark, it's kind of like, seriously? What's going on here?
Yeah, well, it happens to me every day, so I'm
I
kind of used to it. But
yeah, I'm kind of in the retirement mode where I can sleep in, versus the old days.
I love, it's one of those things where you lose that ability. Because I know folks that, they got up at dark 30 for years. Now that they've retired, they're like, 7 o'clock, I'm just thinking about the day even. My head's still in the pillow at 7 o'clock.
Well, actually, my problem is I go to bed sometimes at, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 1:30 in the morning.
Gotcha.
Well, I go to bed, but then I have to read for about half an hour, so I kind of get sleepy.
Right.
So by the time I actually turn my lights off, it's around 1 o'clock or 1:30 or something.
And so this time of the morning, you're
right.
I get you. But for folks that aren't familiar, Walker Aviation Museum, it's home at the Air Center, and it is a museum dedicated to the military base that was located there on the south end, initially Roswell Army Airfield, later Walker Air Force Base, and also a museum that pays homage to the Cold War era and the role that this area served during that time period.
Correct.
So, yeah. Unfortunately, with COVID and everything, it's been kind of closed and things for this while, but you've had this really used this as an opportunity to add new things to the museum and getting some new changes and updates and things to the museum. So the time has not been idle time for the museum.
No, it's not. And I would like to today go over some stuff we're going to be doing starting next week. And but for right now, the later on in the show, I'll briefly just go over the quick history of the Atlas missile that was here. And it was up and running full operational during the Cuban Missile Crisis in October of '62. But anyway, we're kind of just on the verge of, getting ready to open up. But we were looking at trying to hire someone through Goodwill Industries over there on North Main.
Mm-hmm.
And but the airlines, as you're probably aware, in November shut down a lot of the midday flights.
Yeah.
So that's supposedly going to be coming back, according to my neighbor, who's a TSA agent.
Okay, good.
So hopefully, and Scott Stark kind of indicated that. But anyway, she was saying that that will be back. So we'll probably for sure get that open, because it's kind of crazy to be open when there's absolutely no planes coming and going.
This is true.
Because there's nobody, unless I force Scott Stark to come down and come through our place once a day or something. I'm just kidding.
It's kind of, what's the thing? If a tree falls in the forest, if no one heard it, did it fall?
That's true. But anyway, I can kind of give you a quick rundown of kind of a really exciting thing that's happening with us. We've got an Excel grant, about $10,000 grant last year. And we bought 2 flight simulators from, they're called EduStations from STEM Pilot Incorporated.
Okay.
They're about $6,000 machines. And what we're going to set it up for is probably either taxiing or a takeoff or possibly just flying through the squares,
Okay.
And we'll get some kids in here. We're trying to get youth in the age of around, we found that between ages of 13 and 18 is kind of what we're looking for.
Okay.
So middle school, high school. And starting next week on Tuesday, we're getting 24 students coming in from Sierra Middle School.
Okay.
And they'll be coming down, and that's kind of what we have planned. But we really want to.
And will they be experiencing the flight simulators and everything?
Oh, yes.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Are they one of the first groups to do that?
They're actually the prototype group.
All right. They're the guinea pigs.
Yeah, they're the guinea pigs.
Cool.
So we're going to bring them in. And they're bringing in 24. I think 12 are going to some company out there, some aircraft company.
Okay.
And the other 12, we can only handle 12 at a time.
So they'll round robin.
Because we only have 2 flight simulators. What we do is put it as a pilot, co-pilot, and navigator, or somebody standing behind us, so they can do their thing for about 14 minutes.
So they work as a team.
And then they switch positions and the next person. So they kind of all get a chance to see what the other guy's doing or other gals doing and stuff like that.
See it from a different perspective.
So that takes care of 6 of them.
Okay.
So the other 6 will come over to we have a big computer screen, and we've got it set up so that group, after they first get there, we would kind of run them down the hall, show them the model airplanes, give them a quick, maybe 8-minute history of Walker from a historical point of view.
Okay.
So they kind of oriented to that. But then we get into the science STEM issues. And so the other ones that aren't flying the simulators are going to go, and we'll give them some rundowns on some various careers that are available.
Nice.
And again, that's kind of, for some of the stuff here, maybe a little advanced for an 8th grader or, whatever, but especially for high school. But anyway, the first thing they'll get was, for example, how to choose a college career or a major or what you might want to pursue in life later on. So these kids are getting ready in middle school, getting ready to go to high school, but that's a little early. But we'll talk what they call a Venn diagram, which is the 3 circles of, what you're passionate about and what you're good at and what somebody will pay you for.
Gotcha.
And when all those 3 circles overlap, and that's kind of the area you should maybe pursue. And other areas are hobbies or whatever. So that'll be kind of an orientation for that for them. Then the next thing would be like a 3-minute video on science, technology, engineering, and math, just an overview. A 3-minute video, 3.5-minute video on careers in aviation. Okay. Followed by a 5 and almost a 6-minute on the day in the life of a wind turbine engineer.
All right.
So, and then what it's like to be an aircraft mechanic, about 5.5 minutes. Energy careers, career cluster, different energy careers for about 2 minutes. About 2.5 minutes on oil well worker's career. 2.5 minutes on what does a registered nurse do? Followed by architectural engineering versus architecture. What's the difference? About a 3-minute video. How to become an auto mechanic, about a 3.5-minute video. And then one is kind of just fun to watch. No dialogue or anything. It's roughnecks at work at a drilling rig, and it's like awesome. I think all the guys that go, football players or whatever, go, whoa, that's pretty awesome. It's pretty scary, pretty dangerous how they're doing this and getting these pipes coming out, and these chains are slinging around, and they're tightening them up, and they're doing various things.
Orchestra.
Pulling the pipes out and dumping the mud and covering it so the mud doesn't fly everywhere. And it's kind of like, it kind of keeps your attention there. And that's about 4.5 minutes.
Cool. Okay. So it really gives them a perspective on opportunities through STEM and career fields
and just kind of gives them some ideas of, hopefully it'll open the eyes of, I didn't realize there was that kind of a job out there. So
yeah, well, good. Well, hopefully after this first group gets to go through and then gets to take advantage of this, we'll have lots more kids coming through and participating in this program.
And when they leave, what we're going to do is hand them a sheet here of career videos, and these are a collection. I've kind of come across about 58 videos that are either aircraft related videos, or most of them are career videos that they can go back home, get on their home computer, and it just gives them a start to look at, and it shows the title. They can just type it in under YouTube, and it shows you the length of the talk. And then I also will give them a list of about 135 a list of 135 STEM job list. So I say, okay, here's 135 different jobs that are STEM oriented. You can take this list, go home, and go on your computer, and they're, a lot more adept than probably I am. They can look up this stuff and find out more information like, oh, I didn't realize that was a career, and they can check that out.
Gives them a place to start doing their own research.
And these guinea pigs, unfortunately for them, not just kidding. I'm going to give them a score sheet and a pencil. And when I show them those videos I just talked about on careers, I'm going to let them grade it. I have no regrets on how to choose a college career. So then I'm below that. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so I want them to circle, after they see each video, what they thought. This was bad, useless. I got nothing from this video.
So kind of learn what they
Yeah.
liked and what they didn't
Number
like.
2 is not very useful for me. 3 is okay, but not great. 4 is good. I learned quite a bit. And number 5 is very good. I learned a lot, very useful. So we can get a feedback from this age group when we show these videos of saying, maybe we need to look for a change in this particular video for this age group.
Yeah.
So we can
tweak it.
Tweak it so that future 8th graders coming in will go, yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah.
And thanks to the Sierra group, they kind of like graded it and go, what were you thinking putting that up there? I know.
Good. Yeah, well, yeah, absolutely. You want to make sure that you're hitting the target group and hitting them as, the limited time you have them there, you want to get the most bang out of that opportunity. So.
Then when they get through flying the Edustation, the flight simulator, we have a little business card here that basically is the
looks like an instrument
panel of a Cessna 172.
Okay. And
on the back it says, I'm an Edustation pilot, and we'll have a student number that we'll write down in our roster, their number 32 or 14 or whatever. And then they can put their name on here. For us, when we put the roster, we're just going to put their first name with their student number, not their last name, and then the date. So they can take this card home with them, and when they come in, they can say, "Hey, I'm Johnny so and so, and I was here. I'm student number 32." And I say, "Okay," and okay. Since you've been through the orientation, there's a 20-minute orientation video they do before they actually do the stuff that they all get. They can say, "Sure, they're the 2 flight simulators over there. Go over there and just have a good time."
So at their leisure, they can come by and utilize.
They can continue to use that,
nice.
And the person that's at the museum at that time can just kind of oversee and
their membership card to do these things.
And hopefully they'll be up to speed and they'll kind of know how to just get on there and
exactly.
They can fly 50 different airplanes.
That's cool.
They can land anywhere in the world.
Nice.
So you get an airline pilot coming in and look at it and go, "Oh, that's pretty simple." I say, "Well, yeah, but you can, select an F-22 and land in Istanbul at 9:00 at night."
So if there's kids that want to be pilots someday and they're, not taking the flying, they could go and start getting simulator time just by coming here. And so when they're of age or have the ability to start taking formal classes and things on this, they kind of get a jump on the game there. That's great. So that's cool.
So that's kind of what we're kicking off next week. And we've already had some younger ones come in, kind of a prototype, some, staff and neighbors, young kid come in. So we kind of had some younger ones. We found out that kids that are like 11, 12-year-olds, kind of they just look at that as a game to play.
Right.
And we need to get the message across to people come in. It's a serious thing on the flight simulator. It's there purposely to get people decide, I would be interested in aviation, maybe not necessarily in the long run being a pilot, but being involved with aviation and stuff like that. So we're hoping to do that.
Yeah. Well, that's definitely, and I don't care how old you are or who you are, that's still a toy in your head. You know what I mean? It's like, we get to fly airplanes and everything. Come on, I'm in.
Right,
that's a game. So even as adults, I probably sit behind the thing. And even though, we're doing all the, the necessary things, it's still fun and kind of, neat to do. So.
We've had, when they sent that up for us and sent it to us, it's set up so that if you crash or fly into a building, the screen doesn't go black and everything crashes. It just kind of goes through the building, keeps going. So
gotcha.
So we know that people are going to have problems and issues, like me, for example.
That's Empire State Building, no problem. I'll fly right through it.
Right through it. But
I'll go through that window right there and come out on the other side.
No, like the takeoff one, you just take off, you put the throttle up, and you go putting down the road at 172. And as soon as you take off, you have some squares you fly through, and every time you fly through a square, you get a little ding ding.
So
and then you finally, after about 7 or 8 squares, you make it a turn downwind. You fly through a yellow circle, and if you made a success, all those squares in that circle, then a big band starts playing on the computer.
Cool.
Good job,
Nice. So you get a reward.
That's right.
Successful. That's cool.
That's right.
And then and of course, once you get that bit in there and you get excited, then you can, of course, do this program and get your card, and kids can come back and fly some of the other simulations and on different aircraft and things like that. So it'll be really cool. So I think that'll be fun. I hope some kids really get into that and take advantage of that, because I think that's a great way to create a new generation of pilots here, just by them having an interest in getting their own time in those chairs and earning their time. And next thing you know, they're
so For
Right.
people out in the audience, we're going to be working and coordinating through Roswell Independent School District, and Ruben Bolaños is working with the STEM stuff, and also involved with Eastern New Mexico University Roswell. And we have some other people maybe volunteer we're looking at to come out and help, guide the kids through this stuff. And we're working with All Saints Catholic, Gateway, homeschoolers out there, and Assurance Home, Boy Scout troops, that age group, between like 13, 18.
Mm-hmm.
New Mexico Youth Challenge, we're going to be coordinating with them. And Sidney Gutierrez Charter School out there at the base.
Okay, perfect.
So, which is out there close to the Youth Challenge dorms, that location. So anyway, they're almost within walking distance, and the problem, a lot of them, is getting them to have a bus to get them in and out. So
Yeah, transportation's always tricky in this day and age right now. But
Right.
but definitely, and of course, if you're an administrator or anything and you're hearing this and like, hey, I'd like to set something up for this for my kids, reach out to the museum. They'll be love to.
Well, actually, I can give them my cell phone. And
Okay.
I need to text me.
Okay.
Because I probably won't answer if I don't recognize the number. And
Gotcha.
I'll call you back.
All right.
So it's 420,
Okay.
420, then the number 3,
Okay.
then 789.
3789. All right.
That's my cell phone. So you have to text me and say, yes, I'm from such and such school, homeschoolers, Boy Scout troop, whatever, and we're interested in setting up a time when we can go out there, because we have to coordinate and get people up there that can, help out,
Sure.
know what's going on. So 420-3789.
And don't forget now, you got to actually put the 575 on there.
Yeah, he's right.
If
Yeah,
if
put the
you're
575
calling
on there.
from a landline. If you're on a cell phone, you had to do that already. But
Yeah.
now landlines are making you do it too.
Yeah,
so.
this afternoon, Alan Trevor, who was working at the Eastern Mexico University, he's working at University of Mexico now, but he has finished the 2 touchscreen computers that are going to give history, where people can walk in off the thing waiting for an airplane, and they can walk up to one of 2 of these touchscreens and touch maybe up to 3 or 4 subjects on each screen and get about a 2.5 minute video and audio of a little blip of history, like Atlas missile, what we're going to talk about here in just a second, or what did Roswell Army Airfield do
Sure.
during World War II?
Gotcha.
And they'll give you a rundown there for about 2 minutes. So we're going to install that on the wall, or get it at least located this afternoon, and then I'll get with Jason Pence, our electrician, and have him come out in the next few days and get that finally fixed up. So
Cool.
we'll have 2 touch screens there. We'll have this other computer. We'll have a video player, big screen, and we've got 2 flight simulators. So
Awesome.
kind of going
Get high tech
getting
in there.
high tech. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. That's great to see, and more interactive stuff for folks to come through, and as they come in for their flights and things, or come to see the museum,
Yeah.
they've
So
got
hopefully when that
access to.
kicks off in December, we'll definitely be open full time. Right now, we're probably going to be kind of struggling along and opening up as we have kids scheduled to come out.
Gotcha.
When I say kids, I say that in a nice way.
Yes.
Youth
Youth.
that are looking for,
Or if for those who watch My Cousin Vinny, Utes.
yeah. When you're my age, everybody, even you're a kid. You're a kid.
Yeah, I don't feel like it, but yeah, I do the same kind of stuff. I lump I just say you guys for a lot of things.
Yeah, I do too.
It doesn't matter genders or anything. It's just a group of people. It's
I know, I do
you
that too.
guys. Yeah.
You worry about saying you guys when
Yeah.
you got some women there, but I think
Yeah.
most people just understand.
Yeah, if it's a gaggle of people, hey, what's up, guys? Just
Yeah,
kind of how it is. Nothing nefarious there. Just an easy way to address a whole group of people.
That's right.
So let's talk a little bit about the Atlas missile.
Okay, Atlas missile, right quick, before we run out of time here. I remember, even today we have the 12 silos scattered around Roswell, pretty far out, but not too far out.
Not filled with
10, 12 miles out.
Not filled with missiles anymore, of
Nope,
course.
no
but,
more, yeah.
They were at one time.
So the Atlas was manufactured by Convair Division of General Dynamics at Kearney Mesa, San Diego, California.
Okay.
In 1946, the Atlas started design and development as a 1,500 mile to 5,000 mile range missile that would be able to carry a thermonuclear warhead, but was canceled in 1947 when they kind of suddenly light bulb went off in their head and said, man, these bombs are way bigger than this missile's going to keep. And then because of a successful Soviet ICBM test in 1953, the development of the Atlas ICBM program became a crash program of highest priority in 1954.
Okay.
So that's when I was 11 years old.
Ah.
Okay, the development of the Atlas missile went from what they call the SM-65A in 1957-58 to the SM-65B and
Okay.
C and D. So it became the Atlas D. And the first operational version of the Atlas missile with a 9,000-mile range first flew in April 1959. Okay, now nothing's happened yet at Walker.
Okay.
Okay, so then the SM-65E, and you look at an E, you look at the E, the three little lines off to the right, of course. That was the first 3-engine operational variant of the Atlas missile. Up to that point, it was 2-engine.
Okay.
So the E model, you get into the 3-engine Atlas. And finally, the SM-65F, or the Atlas F, was the final operational variant of the Atlas missile that first flew in August 61. Surrounding Walker Air Force Base, it got the 12th Atlas F missile site, started construction in 1961. Okay, that's the year I graduated from high school. Were you born yet?
61, no. I'm born in the early 70s.
Oh, okay. So anyway, with completion of all sites and all 12 ICBMs on alert status by October 1962. And then the 579th was the organization. The Strategic Missile Squadron was fully operational during the Cuban Missile Crisis, which was 16 to 28 October 1962.
Okay.
In June 1963, and in February, actually my birthday, February 13th, and March 1964, those 3 dates, June, February, and March 64, 3 of the launch complexes were destroyed during a propellant loading exercises. They blew up.
Okay.
And luckily, no one was killed, and there were no warheads mated to the missiles at the time of the explosions.
Good.
So all the remaining missiles were retired and removed in early 1965 in favor of the more advanced Titan II missiles and the more stable solid fuel Minuteman missiles like they have up in Malmstrom Air Force Base was my last assignment as a medical commander up there.
Gotcha.
Made quite a few visits out to the missile silos out there surrounding, and they're pretty far out there, 70, 80 miles out.
Is that what, are they still using Minutemen to this day, or is that a different, I didn't know if they've upgraded to something different since then or
they
not.
still got those out there.
Very good. But yeah, but there's like night and day evolutionary differences between the Atlas and then the Titan.
Yeah, the Atlas.
And then into the Minuteman.
Put in that, fuel, liquid fuel.
Yeah, it was way more dangerous
yeah.
in an Atlas missile silo than a Titan missile silo.
And actually, it exposed the missiles to being destroyed because if there was suddenly a war kicked off, they have to bring the missile up above ground to refuel it instead of down in the silo.
Gotcha.
So it was pretty vulnerable sitting up there. Somebody off, I guess, with a high-powered rifle could shoot at it or something, whatever. But the 579th Missile Squadron was inactivated in March of 1965. And then you remember the base closed in 67.
Yes.
So that's kind of a quick history of the Atlas F missile.
Are any of the current silos in the area open to the public for visiting? Are they all privately owned?
I don't know. I think they're pretty privately. I know the astronomy club that I belong to for a while. I've kind of backed off because I'm tied up with this other stuff going on. They go out north of town and they all collect on top of a silo that's kind of all flattened out and stuff. So it's kind of, but just different people own them now. Just it's on some ranch out there.
Yeah, it'd be kind of neat.
It would be neat if you could go out and just be able to go down and see what they were like.
They're really cool. I like I said, the only opportunity is they have a museum in near Tucson for the Titan missile.
Right.
And I got to tour that, and I'm sure there's a lot of similarities there, and as far as how things looked and felt down there and all that kind of stuff. But I'm sure it's loud as all get out down there. Like when that thing was operating and all the computers and everything down there, I'm sure life living and they'd be down there for a day or two at a time, before they swap out personnel and stuff. I imagine that's probably not if you're claustrophobic or not good with idle time, I imagine that could be a rough job to sit down in that thing for 24 hours at a time. But those guys did it, and it's pretty impressive just to hear the stories of some of those folks that did that kind of stuff.
Right,
so,
right. By the way, before we move on and I have to leave here, I want to again put our thanks out to XL Energy for the money and for that, but they've also helped us out on various other things. Roswell Toyota and Pioneer Bank, Featherstone Development, and then you got Dr. Phil Cathy, Dr. Paul Angstrom, Lloyd Hughes, and Glenn's Furniture's provided a big heavy table for us.
Nice.
We have.
Did they get it? Yeah, they do custom build. As a matter of fact, this table right here they built for us.
Did they?
This one and the one next in the room next door.
Well, they were really
custom
nice because
built.
they had a table, a big table that they did, I guess something had broken in it or something during shipment.
Mm.
And so Bill Glenn called me up and he said, I got a table. Could you guys use it out there? And I just bought another table to put our computer on.
Okay.
And I said, yeah, absolutely. Well, I'll come by and check and look at it. And we got it and they delivered it. And so it's kind of right there in the front when that 16-foot screen opens up. When people walk in, there's a big table right there. And that it's big enough where we have some big photographs or maps of the initial layout of the base. So you can look there and kind of thumb through those drawings with that big table there and some other stuff. So
Cool.
AirSale has also been a big supporter in the past. So.
Yeah. These entities, without their support, you guys wouldn't even be here today.
No, we wouldn't.
Yeah.
That's right.
And these same people you mentioned and organizations and businesses you mentioned, they are always supporting this and other organizations in our community too.
Yeah.
Some great businesses and partnerships we have here. So.
Yeah.
But if you would like more information about setting up a private tour or of course, setting up with an opportunity for your youth group or something to learn more about this program, please reach out to the Walker Aviation Museum. If you'd like to support...
Matter of fact, we've got a email site now.
Okay.
Walker, the letter A,
Okay.
museum
Okay.
at gmail.com.
Walker, the letter A, museum at gmail.com.
Yeah,
if
we
you got
kind of,
any
instead of saying
questions.
Walker Aviation Museum, we just
Yeah.
said Walker A Museum.
Or if you're Canadian, Walker A.
Walker A. Walker A Museum, right. At gmail.com, right.
Very good.
And go visit the website, wafbmuseum.org.
Yeah, if you can go there, there's a donate now button. If you'd like to make a monetary donation, you say, hey, I heard them on the radio. Sounds like they're doing great work. I'd like to give them some money.
Yeah.
You can do that. If you want more information about
Amazon.com.
Amazon, they've got the link there for the Amazon Smile program. If you go through there and use that Amazon Smile link, which you find directly at the Walker Aviation Museum website, if you go through that portal and do all your Amazon shopping, a few pennies off your purchase go back to the museum. And then so it doesn't cost you anything extra. It's just you doing your normal Amazon shopping. And Amazon makes a small donation for every time that someone goes through that portal. And so tell your friends, tell your thing, every time you do your shopping online through Amazon, go through that portal and you help out the museum with a few pennies every time you shop there. So, and those pennies do add up. They get nice fat checks every once in a while, if enough people use it. So.
And before we leave, I just really, again, I'm on my knees begging. No, we need any retired military or school teachers or whatever out there that might want to be interested in joining our group. We only have 8 people right now on the board.
Yeah.
And, but we did at one time, we had, 25 people or so, but we need more people.
Good deal. And he's saying retired and everything, and you don't have to be retired if you're still teaching and want to serve.
And if you want to just, volunteer to come out when we have a bunch of students come out, then we can check you out and you can get you all up to speed on the simulator. So when you come out there, you can work with the kids. And
if you just got a love for kids or love for history or love for STEM and or a love for just education, then you're going to be hanging out with the right people.
That's right. That's right.
Again, learn more, wafbmuseum.org. You can learn more about the Walker Aviation Museum, the history, the whole thing behind it, and different ways to get involved, too, there.
Some of the people like Juliana Halverson that comes in, she's on our board. She's a key person. Myself, of course, Katie Yates, Sandy Correa, Bob Donnell, and Judy Armstrong, former president and Jerry Cloffer worked at the Institute and librarian and did a bunch of other stuff. Friar Yorick Nowacki of the Catholic Church here. So
very cool.
So anyway, those are the 8 people that we have right now, and then we've got other people like Bob Donnell's wife, Peggy Donnell, bless her heart. She comes out and does all kinds of stuff, help hang pictures, and she's
the
been
volunteer
great. Scott,
families,
yeah. Nola Ferguson and Haven Sills, updating inventory. So we've had a good time. We've got a Jacob's ladder out there, a 10,000 watt generator that lightning goes up and down 2 bars, and got a little bicycle you can get on and you can pedal away, and the light pole and fan comes on. That's been through Ron Lynch and XL Energy provided the bicycle. But Ron Lynch fixed it up. So.
More of the STEM stuff there.
Just STEM stuff. Anyway, that's what we've got going out there. It's kind of the mission, final thing. And you're going to kick me off.
What was it?
To educate and inspire all generations concerning the history and legacy of Walker Air Force Base and encourage our youth to explore careers in science, technology, engineering, and math.
To the infinity and beyond.
Beyond, right. So we got a double mission. We got the history of the base, and we're trying to push on STEM careers.
Yep. Learn from our past and set the table for the future.
And it's kind of interesting that the first group's coming out is from Sierra Middle School, and my mother taught science and math at Sierra Middle School for many years.
Isn't that cool?
Before she finally retired, but she started out when I was conceived. She was a math and science teacher at Roswell High School in 1940. Whatever it was.
And
42.
Here we are, teaching STEM to these kids.
I'm here trying to further my mother's goal of getting science out to folks.
Well, I'm sure she's very happy, looking down and very happy about that. So
I don't know. Maybe she is.
Well, Robert, as always, appreciate the visit. And anything else we can do, let us know. And
575-420-3789.
Yes.
Text me, and we'll coordinate and get back to you as far as getting some kids out there.
Yeah, if you got
13 to 18 is the best age group.
Absolutely. Or if you're interested in being a docent or any of this stuff, reach out to Robert here, and we'll
want to join our board and come visit and
roll up your sleeves in any way, shape, or form. We'll love to have you.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Okay.
Well, thank you, sir. We'll see you next time. All right.
Thanks.
It is.